Today we're making the cutest quilted alphabet that makes the perfect gift for a toddler. Hello, my name is Jenna, and in another life I was an elementary school teacher, and so teaching kids how to read and phonics and all that is one of my passions. One of my favorite gifts to give people are these quilted little alphabet letters, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways to make them. You can gift these as early as 2 years old. It's never too early to start your literacy skills. Now, let's get into making these. The first way we're gonna make this is by using little alphabet templates. And what you're gonna need to do is go online and just type out the alphabet in whatever font you want. I like doing a thick, bulky font. It just makes it easier to sew and to cut out later on. And then you just wanna print them out and cut them out. You're also gonna need some scrap fabric. That's why I love this present. It is perfect for scrap fabric. Some scrap batting, and I know all quilters have some scrap batting lying around. Then you're gonna need a rotary cutter. I love using the 45mm My Comfort cutter. It's an ergonomic cutter. And then a 6.5-inch square ruler. And this one is the True Cut ruler. And what's nice about these is they hook into each other, so then you get more accurate cuts. You're gonna start by taking some fabric. Let's do this green. This green's so cute. And I'm gonna cut a square out of it, and it doesn't have to be a perfect square. I just want them all to be around the same-ish size. So I want like 5¼ inches. And then I'm gonna cut 2 pieces, one for the front and one for the back. If you want to do 2 different pieces, that works great. You do not have to do the same. And then I am going to cut a similar size of the batting. Then we can layer these on top of each other. And you just wanna make sure that your right sides of your fabric are facing out. Then you're gonna take your letter template and put it right on top. Then I'm using a heat erasable marker to draw or trace out my template. So we're doing the D, and you only need to do this on one side. And I'm not using any basting spray or anything to hold this together. This piece is small enough that I don't need it. It will just do fine as it is. And now we're gonna sew it. Because this is for a child and there is gonna be a lot of wear and tear and use in it, you wanna make sure that your stitch length is a lot smaller. On the Little Rebel, I like doing the second smallest. So there's the smallest and then the second smallest stitch length there is. Now we're gonna start sewing it, and I'm gonna start in the middle of a spot and not in a corner, and I'm gonna show you why in a second. I'm gonna start in the middle. You're gonna backstitch and then go all the way to the corner. Put your foot up and then keep sewing. And now I started in the middle of the piece so that it is easier when I am tracing back over. I can trace back over my original seam line to make it extra strong. Anytime I make anything for kids, I just know that it's gonna be ripped to pieces. And so I want to do my best to make sure those seams aren't gonna come apart. I did the outside, and now I can go and do the middle of the letter. And you're just tracing around the template line that you drew. Now we can cut all of our threads off. And then to get rid of that template line, I'm just going to run my piece under my iron. And now we're almost done. This is how easy this project is. I am going to use some pinking shears and cut around the edge of this D. And I wanna make sure that I don't hit this seam at all, because then that will break my thread. But I like to get pretty close to that seam line, like maybe 1/8 inch away from that seam line. And this doesn't look like a D yet without cutting out the middle. And so I like to take my rotary cutter and I like to just make a random mark in the middle. And then once I have that little cut, I'm gonna take some scissors and I wanna go straight into that corner, and I wanna get as close to that corner as possible. And then same for this side. And then for the rounded part, I just like to do a couple little snips to make it a little bit easier to cut. Then for this piece, I can push the rest of that D back, and I can use my pinking shears to cut that section, and then I can do this all the way around. And right here, if the back side didn't get cut from the front, then what I'll do is I'll just go to the back and use my pinking shears to just cut it as best as I can to match the front. And now we've got the perfect letter D, and we just have to repeat that process with the rest of the alphabet. That was the first way of doing it, and that's pretty easy, right? The second way is my favorite way, and it's even easier. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna baste down my squares onto just some backing and the batting. After everything's basted, our next step is to set up our automation. And I have QCT6 Pro with the gold card, and the gold card has this feature called the font stitcher that I love. So we're gonna click on font stitcher. I'll set my safe areas real quick. And now with Font Stitcher, I'm gonna type out the letter that I want. And I'm gonna do one letter at a time. Because I have a different fabric for each letter, I want to type out each letter one at a time, but you can do this a lot faster if you just have one sheet of fabric for the whole alphabet. I'm going to start by finding my font that I want. And I like to use Arial Black just because it's super thick. And then I just want to click on lock and then A so that it's a capital A. And I like the way that looks. You could italicize it bold, you could do regular bold, regular, both are the exact same. But if I had a bold option, I would choose the bold option. Then you save your file, and I'll just save it as A, save, and it brings it up. Now I can go ahead and do my 4-point placement, but for this, actually 4 points is kind of excessive. So I like to do block placement, and then I don't want anything to stretch, I want it to fit, because I don't want the letter to stretch the block, I just want it to be the exact size that I want it to be. And I'm just doing 2 corner placements. So I'll come to this first block is gonna be my A, so I'll do 1 placement, and then I'll do the next placement, and now I can stitch it out. So I'm just going to press quilt and sew. And then it will have me move to next. I'll just press move to next and give it a little bit of slack. So. And for this, I like to make sure that I'm stitching at around 11 or 12 stitches per inch. And then when we're all the way done, I can just press X, X. I'll go back to my font stitcher, and then I'll do my next letter. So let's lock and let's B and save. Perfect. I'll do my 2-point placement again and fit. I'll set my 2 corners. I'll press quilt. So, oh my gosh, my hair is like in my eye right now. Oh, it wasn't my hair, that was an eye. Ew, there's a thread hanging on my eyelash. Stitching everything out this way is so much faster, and I feel like easier than doing it on your regular sewing machine. And so anytime I want to do these as a gift, I use my QCT6 gold card, and it just makes life easier. One thing I think is kind of funny though is as I was prepping for this and I did the entire alphabet beforehand, I forgot the F, which is so sad. So we're gonna do F next so I can have the entire alphabet. What I found with letters like W and X, where they're wider letters, is it's better to do stretch instead of fit on QCT6, just because if you do fit, then your W is gonna be a lot shorter than every other letter. And so I'm redoing my W so that it's the same height as the rest of my letters that I've already made. As I'm stitching all these out, my thought is, what if I made lowercase versions and uppercase versions of all of these? And then a little kid could play a matching game with uppercase and lowercase. That would just be the cutest thing ever. There are so many things you can do with these letters. Then, after all your letters are sewn, all you have to do is cut them out with pinking shears. To make this gift even better, you can make a little pouch to put all of these in. And if you're thinking, wow, a 2-year-old does not need these. Yes, they do, because they don't know that this is a J yet, but they do know how to say la 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 or m m m m m. And if they say m m m m, you can say, oh, that's what this says. This says m m m m. It's as easy as that. Teaching literacy is so much easier than you think at home. If you make these as a gift, make sure to post it and to tag us so that I can cheer you on and see all the cute things that you're making. Thank you so much for hanging out. Make sure to like and subscribe for more fun quilting content, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed that, check out more videos from Grace Company on our support channel, our Quilters Playground channel, and right here.